Welcome back to the Nose Plays Endless Space 2. Today is part 3 of our Vaulter series. We'll be doing the next 10 turns. And today we're taking a look at the big picture. So this is the galaxy as we see it right now. You can see that we're in an 8 spiral armed system. And we have largely uncovered this arm and this arm of the galaxy so far. We have our constellation that we share with the Niris, and we are aware of a second constellation right here, but there is a large majority of the map that we have yet to uncover. So we need to maybe do some of that. Another thing that we talked about last time was beginning to ramp up our military. So we wanted to start building some military in the next 10 to 20 turns and get a military presence for defense, but also maybe do a little bit of offense, particularly with these pirates that are causing some problems in our system. So let's kind of zoom in here and see what we have going on. So we recently colonized the system of Niris. Our capital system of Vega is doing quite well. We currently have 2 planets colonized and a third one available for colonization, which we are working on and are a few turns away. The system of Bushir also has 3 colonizable planets, although they're a little bit more difficult to colonize than some of the other systems that we have, some of the other planets that we have. And that system is coming along quite nicely. This is the system that I'm hoping will be an industry powerhouse, and this is why. Just massive amounts of industry everywhere. We also have some exciting curiosities that we'll be uncovering soon. We're a couple turns away from having the ability to search these curiosities, and they're going to hopefully improve all of our planets in some fashion. There was also a few of those over here. We had 1, 2, and I think Nis had 1. Yeah. So there's quite a few curiosities that are going to be available for searching out. We should have 2 ships available to do that. One of them in our home system and one of them over here. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started today. I want to just take a look through all of the main screens here just to see if there's anything we want to do before we start turn 31. One thing I was considering doing is moving our hero to one of our newer systems where there's a lot more things left to build, particularly Niris. It's got a really low population right now, so she was going to provide a lot of food for that system with some of her abilities, and in return gain a lot of experience from all of the buildings that get built. So I think we may want to go ahead and do that now. And now if we go to Niris, we can see we're getting an extra 40 food, so she's going to help get this system growing. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of anomalies yet in this system under our control, so we're not going to get the benefit of her extra industry production, but I think it's still worth it to get her over there, get the experience, and get that system growing a little faster. Colonizing. We're getting close to, that was the other thing, we're getting close to having enough influence to grab our 4th system. We'll be able to assimilate the Niris once we get 300 influence, and that's coming along nicely. Unfortunately, the quest that we ended up drawing was one that was going to be not ideal for us, and so we won't be able to get that quest done faster than we can just buy these guys out, which is my current plan. And then technology-wise, so we're currently working on evaporation inhibitors. This is going to give us the ability to colonize desert planets, as well as search those new curiosities that we're looking at just a moment ago. The next thing we really want to do is we want to unlock the Tier 3 economy and trade tier. And the reason for that is we want to gain basic system development, which is going to allow us to apply some very powerful effects to our 4 systems. And so in order to do that, we're going to have to grab a technology over here. Now, I had already queued up galactic commodities, but I'm kind of rethinking that. I'm thinking astrofinance might be the better choice. And the reason for that is this is going to provide a lot of dust for all of the population that ends up in Bouchier. Every planet in that system is sterile, and so this would be a really cool planetary specialization to throw on all of those systems and keep our dust production high while we start to build ships. The other building in this particular technology is this one, and we do have quite a few planets with luxury resources in our home system, so that's going to only further improve the amount of dust that we're able to create and allow us to build a fairly large and powerful military because of it. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and queue this one up as my next technology. We'll unlock this, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to head over here and grab this tech, and that's going to give us access to military class ships, both defensive ships and offensive ships. And then we're going to go ahead and grab this, and this is going to give us more command points and manpower. So command points basically increase the number of ships that you can field in a single fleet, and that's going to be important as we begin developing a military. And that's probably good enough for now. We may make some changes to that as we progress, but let's go ahead and get started. We'll see what happens. Looks like we have some pirates over here, some pirate activity. Okay. Vital statistics. So this is one of those quests, solo quests, where we get to pick what we want to pursue and we get a reward. So the first one is build some military ships. That's definitely on our agenda, and we get a bunch of titanium for it. The second one is generate 150 industry in a single system and gain some dust. We're not really starved for dust, but this would be incredibly easy to do as well. And the last one is stockpile about another 100 dust and get more dust. I don't really like the idea of getting more dust as a reward. Titanium definitely has more value for us, especially if we start applying it to ships. And also, this is the resource that I want to use for our system development. 40 industry and 40 food, and it's going to cost 30 for every system. So we're going to need a large stockpile of this. Luckily, we have a lot of it coming in, so that's good. But having more of it is also going to be good. And this is something we want to do anyways, but we're not currently already doing, so it gives us an incentive to do that. So we'll go ahead and pick that one. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move our ships. And it looks like this pirate has left. So he came, said hello, and took off, which is good. What do I want to do with you while we're waiting? Anything? He's going... We're 2 turns away. I think we'll just wait the 2 turns. Go ahead and disband that one as well. Alright. Do we need to check anything? I mean, there's not much else we can do. We're just building stuff. Okay, drone networks are done. Unfortunately, be the first to possess 20-star system improvements was out of reach. I don't remember what the reward for that one was, but I knew it was one we were interested in trying to get to. It just didn't happen that way. That's alright. What is our max manpower? Where does it show me that? I can't remember. Maybe in the military? Yeah, here we go. Okay. So we're increasing our manpower by a fair amount. The max manpower in our empire is 950. This is an important number when you're getting ready to build a bunch of ships and build a military. Every ship has to be fitted out with a crew, and that comes out of your manpower pool, which then has to be replenished. So we'll have to be careful once we get started with making ships not to overproduce ships too quickly. Otherwise, they won't be stocked properly with manpower, and that has some negative effects on their ability to fight, as well as their ability to invade other systems. New population bonus. So we reached this, and so now we've increased the amount of influence that we generate per Vaulter population. So we have 10 of these. Every time an action happens, this is how the political parties increase, or influence increases. So because of this, you'll notice that the size of this is relative. So notice how this bubble for science is way larger than, say, this bonus, this bubble for ecologists. That's intentional. And what that means is every time a science action happens within our empire, all of the Vaulter population will increase the science party's influence by 3. Whenever an ecologist action happens, the Vaulter population increased the ecology party's influence by half a point. And so you can see it takes a lot of ecology actions to actually get the ecologist party any kind of real political influence, where a small number of science related activities will greatly increase the influence of the science party. Also keep in mind this particular wedge here, every time the military party gets a point, or every time a military action happens, the Vaulter population will provide 1 point to the military party, but also an equal amount of points to the science party. So military actions will keep the science party basically in power as well, because they never allowed the science party to get left behind, so to speak. Every time a military action happens, they both get some influence. Different populations have different values and influence different parties. So if we get a lot of Sisters of Mercy in our empire, we may start to see the religious party take a bigger stake in the elections and maybe even come into power. But that will be dependent completely on the types of actions we're taking and how many of them are in our empire. Right now, we have a lot more Vaulters than anything else. It looks like the Niris most likely placed a pirate mark on Vega. The Argosy is ready for action again. Research is complete. We've already queued up the next several, so we don't have to worry about that for a while. already checked that out. And Nair has its second population, so that's good. Hopefully we'll get this system growing quickly. We may want to throw that in the queue. I don't know whether we'll get it done anytime soon, but hate to forget about it. Oh, because we've finished our science, it's time to break out our ships. And do some exploring. So we have 4 probes and 4 curiosities. Interesting. We found 4 of the exact same thing. Voidstone. Oh, look at that. Effect within a system development upgrade. So this is this only for a system upgrade? Deposit effects on planet, +4 industry per population. Wow. So this system just gained a whole bunch of extra. Yeah. They did, because this was 12, 16, 16 before. Holy smokes, the industry on this system is just out of this world. Yeah, we're definitely going to okay, so basically we found 4 deposits of that. So if we go over here, we have 20 voidstone. Cool. We might even use that for a system improvement down the line if we can get enough of it. We'll be collecting a lot of it here. Alright, let's see what we have in this system. Okay. 2 more deposits of voidstone. Well, I think we know what we're going to be using for one of our system developments down the road, for sure. We're 2 turns away from having enough. We want to keep an eye on this influence, because we definitely want to grab the Niris as soon as we have enough to do it. Since you are done searching this area, let's go ahead and get you moving that way. And since you are done, there is a curiosity down in Zasmanos. Do we want to search any of the other curiosities first? I don't think so. I think we'll just go straight there. Alright. Ooh. Okay, so now's a good time to maybe consider a cool interaction that we as vaulters specifically have that nobody else has, at least at this point in the game. And that is the privateer action. What this privateer action does is it basically disguises our ship as a pirate. And that has several effects on how our ship interacts with the rest of the game. So the first thing that happens when you disguise your ship as a pirate is the cost of that ship per turn in dust increases by a fair amount. So that's unfortunate. But the other thing that it does is it prevents pirates from attacking you. So pirates will not attack your ships while they're disguised as pirates. It does also prevent you from attacking pirates, and that includes invading their territory. So a fleet disguised as a pirate will not be able to do an invasion on a pirate's controlled system. However, you can do an invasion on a non-pirate controlled system, and should you be successful, the system will basically be destroyed, be neutrally destroyed. You won't gain control of the system. There are situations where you may want to take out somebody's territory without actually taking their system, and so using the privateer action to create pirate fleets to do that is one way to get rid of an enemy's system without having to take their territory. Maybe they're cravers and they have crappy depleted planets. Maybe you just are already at your cap. So like right now we can only have 7 before we start to have major penalties to our approval. But we need to get rid of somebody who's just invading our space. So keep that in mind. I think since this ship is going into pirate-infested territory, we're going to go ahead and activate the privateer action. Now, one thing else to remember about this, you can only activate this in a system you control, and you can only deactivate it in a system you control. So if for some reason you want to, in the middle of a trip, attack a pirate, you can't just suddenly change from privateer to non-privateer. You have to go back to one of your own systems to do that. So that's kind of a cool thing that the vaulters get right from the beginning of the game. Keep an eye on your dust while you're doing this, because it will increase the military upkeep. So our current military upkeep is 27.8. I believe after this turn it's going to go up. Let's see. Well, it must have already gone up. I didn't see what it was before. We'll check it when we disable it and see what it changes to, if at all. Okay. End of the Ghost of a Machine. So we lost 5 science on systems on the Empire. We increased the science political ideology, and we had an 80% chance to discover something. I'm not sure that we did. Success. We discovered 10 dust on systems on Empire for 15 turns. So 30 dust total? How many? We have 3 systems. 30 dust total for 15 turns. That's quite a lot of dust. We'll get actually 40 once we remember to grab the Niris. So, cool. And an unknown empire has claimed the Hiroshims. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get these guys now. That's okay. I like the little pirate hat icon. It's kind of neat. Okay. We're getting closer to getting our military off the ground. Pirates destroyed one of our civilian fleets. Oh, our little lone population we found over here in Niris or wherever it was that was heading to one of our systems got intercepted. That's unfortunate. That was free population. We could have used that. Those dang pirates. Alright, Astro Finance has been secured so we can get our dust online, and then we're going to start building ships. That's going to greatly tank our economy. More vaulters in there. Alright. Ooh. So this is unfortunate. I really don't like this event. Alright, so minus 15 on colonies. On Empire. Increases religious political ideology. So every planet, that should basically say planet, because each planet is a colony, right? So that could be a pretty hefty penalty to industry, depending on how many planets we've colonized. Or -10 approval. See, the problem is -10 approval. So -10 approval is going to affect this system. It will not affect this system, at least in the short term. We'll still be at 85. This system will drop 15% on, well, no, will definitely drop below devoted. So we'll drop 15% of our dust, 15% of our science, and this system will lose something like 15% of food and influence. This system won't. Yeah, it'll go down to 10. And this system will lose that bonus as well. That's a lot of lost resources. The approval hit seems like it's more detrimental. Now the Vega system has 3 colonies. That's going to be -45. So that's 30% of our industry. 15 here and 15 here. That's a tough one. I think we're going to go with this. We don't really need to worry about the religious party getting into power. That's not really a concern. But I think losing dust, science, food, and influence across our empire is worse than losing a little bit of industry. Well, maybe a little bit is not the right word, but... Alright, let's see what we got here. More voidstone. This stuff is everywhere. Interesting. We can actually search another curiosity over here, I think. Maybe. Several curiosities. We'll go ahead and... What am I doing? Yeah, okay. I thought I had started an invasion or something there for a second, but it doesn't look like that's the case. More voidstone and Star Rex. Your expedition was successful, so we found a fleet? Okay. Let's send that to Boucher for now. And let's go ahead and get these guys assimilated. Look at that, we got a fleet of 4 ships. So we picked up a bunch of shuttles and a station. This is a medium ship? Wow. A couple small ships and a medium ship. Let's go ahead and move them to Vega as well. Since we have a pirate mark on us, we're going to have to deal with pirates. New event, deep breath, inhale, +2 vision range on fleet, on garrison, 3rd atrocious pirates. Okay, so our pirate fleet gets +2 vision, it looks like. We've discovered eating incense. We've assimilated the Niris. And we have a failed quest. Oh, these are the... That's the failed quest for the Niris.
The families will do what is best for the families.
I'm not sure what this message is supposed to mean, but okay. I thought we were your favorite fish in the sea. Apparently, the times they are changing. Alright, our ship is in a place to search some more curiosities. At least one. And advanced plasmode shielding. So, that's a pretty good defense module. It only costs 1 antimatter, and we have a cache of 5, so we could actually use this on some of our ships if we wanted to. And a solo quest, The Good Life. While exploring this planet, you come across a small, harmless community of Horatio, apparently the survivors of a crash-landed spacecraft. These people have lived on the planet for over a decade, enjoying the tropical climate and adorning their habitations with rock, shells, and other useless objects. They seem quite surprised when you tell them their little conclave is just 1 or 2 years away from being wiped out by a natural cataclysm. Help them find a new place to live, won't you? Given the imminent cataclysm, the need to relocate the Horatio Enclave is clear. Fortunately, the beautiful ones should bring some useful benefits too. Bring the Horatio vessel to one of your systems with at least 3 available population slots, 50 influence, and 3 free population. Okay. So the Lost Horatio ship, we actually have control of this. We can send it wherever we like. I would like to send it to Bushir. Potentially. But maybe we send it here instead. We're gonna have to move this up. Wow. So those 4 ships like totally tanked our industry. Well, I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen, but we went from positive 60 dust a few turns ago to minus almost 70, and most of it's from military upkeep. We've also built some buildings, and each building we build is a hit to our industry as well, or I mean our dust. But we do have a solution for that. And that is getting more systems with this technology active. This is taking a while. This is not a sterile planet. I thought this one was sterile, but apparently not. This one is, though. So we'll go ahead and activate that there. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Oh, I just realized something too. So this is really cool. This is going to be really helpful for us. So remember when we first discovered this system, we didn't have any of these fantastic luxury resources. But now that we have luxury resources, guess what building has become available to us? That is right, my friends. The luxury lottery. +5 approval per luxury deposit. That is going to be 20 approval that we were unable to get just a few turns ago. And this system is still in pretty good shape, but it is not going to be in great shape forever because we're going to lose another 10% when our golden age falls off. Now, I don't remember how many turns we have left on this golden age, but it cannot be too many. So, that being said, this definitely needs to get queued up and maybe moved up near the top. We're not gonna mess with that, I don't think. So this Lost Horatio ship should definitely go... The safer route is going to be to Nair, just because pirates could be, I mean, they're going back and forth. So maybe we just go to Nair. We'll send this ship to Bushir, and we'll maybe turn it into a privateer fleet as well and do some more searching. This one, we're waiting for a probe. And that is good for the moment. Yeah, these buildings need to get built. Approval is still really good in this system, so I'm not too worried about that. This is becoming more useful because we have two systems now with anomalies on them populated. And so the amount of science we're going to get is much higher than it would have been if we had done it earlier. I'm going to go ahead and throw it, and we'll throw it after that. Alright, about halfway through this video. Idle system. Oh yeah, we totally forgot. We have a system, a fourth system. What have they built in this system? Anything useful? Okay. A lot of buildings that do not really help them and cost a lot of money. That is unfortunate. So many of those buildings are not providing any benefit of significance at all. That is terrible, and that is why, another reason why our income is so bad. Minus 26 from Andromeda system. Yeah, they build a lot of buildings that are not providing a lot. So, for example, the Xeno industrial infrastructure and public-private partnership buildings are only giving 10 industry and 10 science. Both the cerebral reality and the drone networks would have been better choices in this situation because they provide the same amount plus additional benefits, plus they have a lower upkeep cost. The AI is not very intelligent. Now, granted, those buildings will get better as you colonize more of these planets because they do add a 10 per planet. But yeah, a Mediterranean hot system does not benefit from those buildings in the earlier game, hardly at all. That is unfortunate. We could potentially destroy some of these buildings. I mean, that's 4, 8, 16. This building actually is useful. We have about 16 dust a turn in upkeep. That is not providing us a ton. I'd hate to destroy them just to build them again. So I think the better solution is just get more industry going. More dust-related buildings going. This building is going to help cut down our deficit quite a bit with 15 dust. So we'll get that up. And we'll go from there. Oh, another thing that we need to get done is this. We have level 2 modernization. So we have several options. Jadonics is a great one. Plus 60 industry on the system. just a flat 60 industry, which is really, really good. This is good if you have a high population count, +4 per person on a system. So if you have a system with a lot of population, that could be really good. We're going to be getting a ton of this income too. But I'm leaning more towards titanium. +40 industry, so not quite as much as the Jadonics, but also +40 food. And this is a Vaulter specific ability. So only the Vaulters can use strategic resources as a luxury upgrade for modernization. And they're very powerful. This one is 40 science and 40 dust. That could potentially completely solve all of our income problems if we were to use that. The problem is our income per turn of this is incredibly tiny. We're still relying basically on our hero ability to give us a little bit. And we haven't really had a need for it. We do have a deposit, but we have not unlocked the technology to start farming it yet. So I think the better choice is definitely the titanium. This is one that's going to immediately impact a system as we start a brand new system and get it going. So we're going to pick that. And it's going to cost 31, and we have 4 systems, so that's 124. So we have enough to go ahead and get every one of our systems upgraded, which we're going to do immediately. And the cool thing is, this is a very inexpensive upgrade that we can move straight to the front of the queue by holding Alt when we click it. Alt, bam. Now in earlier Endless games, there was actually a way to do this to all of your systems simultaneously. Endless Legend had the ability to do that. Endless Space 1 did. I haven't figured out if there's a key combination that does it in this game. The combination of keys that used to do it doesn't seem to work any longer. But you still can move things to the top of the queue by holding Alt, which is still nice. Alright, so far so good. A few more turns and we'll end the video for today and hopefully be in a better spot than we were 10 turns ago. Okay, we've got 1 pirate. Looks like they are using a mixture of weapons with energy defenses. The incoming pirate is identical, it looks like. And this is going to be a little bit of a problem because it's going to affect our systems quite significantly. Not sure how we're going to fix that. Well, at least in the immediate future. In the long term, we're going to use this fleet of ships to deal with these pirates, hopefully. But it's going to take several turns for them to get there. Do we have probes? Yes, we finally have probes. We can search. Okay. What was that? A population of Nashast. Okay. So they're very good at defending fertile systems, and they have a militarist political opinion. That could be useful. Hopefully he goes straight to Bushir. If he tries to go to Vega, unfortunately, he is going to get destroyed. Alright, we now have ships with military power in our possession because of the ones we took over from the Niris, I guess. So we got our 30 titanium. That was the probes that we just used. Capture a simulator to attract a new population type in your empire. Reward of 80 influence. Well, that'll be useful. If this guy goes to the proper system, that'll be free influence. Another Vaulter in Vega. All of our level 2 modernization is complete, which is going to greatly increase the rate at everything else. Political ideologies. Counseling, orientation, and guided schooling program. Laws canceled? I'm not sure what happened there. The latest survey is in. It appears that the scientist political party's in the lead, but who knows what might happen on election day. Why was our law canceled? Was it canceled because we don't have enough influence to pay for it? I have a feeling that's the case. That is the case. It requires, with our current level of population, 19 influence per turn, and we are currently at 17 influence per turn. 17 and a half to be exact. So that is why our law was canceled. So laws that have an influence cost like that will, based on your population, fluctuate from being active to being inactive. We're going to have to find some ways to increase our influence if we want to continue to run this. The question then lies in whether it's beneficial to run any of these other laws in its place. We can't really afford to, it doesn't look like. What about pacifist laws? I mean, wow, we can't even... Yeah. Alright, well, we're just gonna run with no laws currently, I guess. Which is fine. Obviously, the law we had was the best one we could enact, and we're no longer able to enact it for the short term, at least. We'll have to see if we can't figure out a way to increase some more influence. Okay, you are done scouting this region, so we're going to send you there. And while you're heading there, another thing has caught my attention, and that is the Argosy. The Argosy is 7 turns away from a free colonization. Just out of curiosity, it's going to take 6 turns to get to Bundes. So maybe we should start heading that way. Two turns to get a portal. Why can I not click on this? That's really weird. Alright, well, clicking on that seems to have fixed the problem. 7 turns. How many turns does it take to get here? 2. So I guess it really doesn't matter whether we wait for the portal or if we just head out. We're gonna have to be careful to avoid the pirates. I guess we'll just go ahead and head out. Hopefully they don't blockade any of our systems. Unfortunately, they're going to have another pirate ship here. Maybe not. Maybe soon. It looks like they're not quite there yet. Alright, let's get all of our ships moving in the directions that make sense. Muster ratio are almost to where they need to go. That ship is almost there. I'm actually going to stop it in Bushir. I don't want it to go over here by itself. Alright. Is there anything else we can do? This could also be why our dust is so bad. To some extent. Luckily we have a nice stockpile, so I'm not very concerned about burning dust per turn. Alright, we can develop some ships and maybe use some of that dust for better things. More population.
The families will do what is best.
Nir's getting really full fast. We need to get one of these other ones colonized, like now. Unfortunately, 6 turns away. And that's as fast as we can go. We could skip the portal and get it done in 5 turns, but that's just not going to happen. Get all of our ships moving. We've gained a reward of 50 influence, which is nice. Let's see if we get anything else. So tell me about these Horatio. What do we Horatio get? They get benefits for being on a hot world, and they get benefits for food, and they are ecologists by nature. They also prefer blue cap mold. This is not a hot world, so if I had known that, I might have moved them to a different planet. In fact, I'm definitely moving them to a different planet. We're going to send them to Bushir. That is going to be an ideal location for them. It'll take several turns for them to get there, but that'll keep this planet from being instantly overpopulated and stuck. Because it's going to take a while for this to get done. And while that's happening, I don't want them sitting here doing nothing. Transvine. Okay. Our second probe ship is going to also go piratey, and we're gonna head out. I think we're gonna head over here. Because we're a pirate, the pirates will not attack us, so that's good. They will stop us still, I believe. So we still get, because they're blockading this system, we still get stopped, but they don't actually attack us, which is nice. We have a probe. Where would we like to send this probe? Thinking we should send it out this way. And then just continue this direction. Looks like the brownish red player, burgundy player, is over here. So we should discover who they are here shortly. We have a ship? What is this? We have a ship that costs 6 per turn. With some energy weapons. Just a small exploration ship, huh? So can I see what we have on here? Opal lasers. Huh. Where do we want this ship? I guess there? Alright. We're slowly getting more dust. Vega has reached 11 of 18. Alright, let's see. Why don't we move you over to this system? Two turns, this is definitely going to help. This will give us a lot of dust. I don't know if it'll be enough to go positive, but it'll be a lot closer to positive. Get our ships all moving. And we're 2 turns away from ending this video. I think the things are going well as we can kind of expect them to go at this point. One thing I'm curious about, I think we've increased our command points enough. We have 5 of 4 command points. Oh, we're still waiting for autonomous construction to finish. The only reason that we are able to have 5 of 4 command points is because they had 5 of 4 command points as their independent nation, and we just kind of took them over. So we get to keep the things that they had even though we don't have them. Another example of that is industrial zones. So they have a planetary specialization that we don't currently possess, and we can't do much about that. I'd prefer to keep it as is at the moment anyways. This is a really good industry specialization for this type of planet, so it's better to leave it on there than to change it, because I'm not sure that we would be able to change it back. This is the last turn of production before we need to move on to something else, so I think a portal is important. Portals are kind of expensive dust-wise, but they do provide some very powerful logistics, and we may need those logistics to defend this system in the near future. So we'll go ahead and do that. This ship, I think we're just going to leave you here for the moment. Maybe we'll just idle you there in case some pirates come by. Okay, couple more turns. Alright, we got our reward for our free population. We want that population. Oh. Never mind. That was the Horatio reaching this planet. Not this one, which was a different population that we've sort of discovered. Alright, battle at Vega. Okay, what do we have here? Projectile weapons, preferably short range, and short range. So turtle sounds like a good strategy to me. We'll go ahead and fight this out. And destroy them pretty easily. I don't think there's any need to look at what happened. And then I can take out the second pirate equally easy because it's the same type of ship. And that is the end of that. So now, well, I'm going to go ahead and move this ship over there. Couple turns, one turn to be precise, we'll be able to merge those guys together. I believe we'll have 6 command points, and that will allow us to get that ship in a single fleet. And then we'll use this guy with his 3 probes to scout some territory down here. I think we'll head down to Zazmos and send out some probes from there. Alright. So this fleet can just idle for a turn. And this fleet has found some stuff. A rival outpost. So we could search this subterranean curiosity. There's a low chance of loot, a high chance of a luxury resource or a strategic resource deposit. I'm not sure that we want to do that for them. I don't even know who these guys are. But we can find out. I think I actually do know who these guys are. And that is terrifying. But let's find out. There's clearly a system right over there. We're going to go that direction, so let's send the probe over that way. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. We have found the Cravers. And this is why getting a military started was so important. So, we're definitely going to have to prepare for war. And we definitely don't want to hang around here any longer than we have to. It looks like the Lumeris are also about to discover the Cravers. I don't like the fact that they're on our constellation at all. And that they're moving our direction. This is a problem. This is a problem that we might be able to resolve to some extent, because we can blockade that outpost hopefully before it gets settled and stop them from colonizing Gemini. That would be ideal. And that is what we are going to plan to do. This ship do we know who Yellow is? I think we do. Where's the... who have we met? So we've met the Horatio, the Yellow player's Horatio. We've unfortunately met the Cravers, and we've met the Lumeris. We don't know any of the other players yet. Okay. Um, we know what's over here. We don't know what's over here. Let's send a probe. That way. That way. And that way. And then let's go ahead and head this direction. Ah. I have a job for my Horatio Scout. Let's get you over here. Ooh, that shouldn't take that long. 4 turns. Let's just get you here, and then in a couple turns, we'll be able to teleport over here and get that. Yep, we're good. In turn. Alright, the Academy has been discovered in the Kobashi system.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
As the minnow becomes the shark, so mistrust becomes hatred. Come then, let our empires slip the snakes of war. They've declared war on us. They did threaten us a little while ago, and we didn't take them very seriously. Another pirate mark has been placed on our system. We're pretty sure we know who that was from. Oh dear. Okay. So the Calgaroos kind of have a mixed fleet. It looks like we're going to win this battle just because we outnumber them. Also, we have a station, which is bigger than any of their ships. They're all small ships. And we have a medium-class ship, so I'm not too concerned with losing this battle. Yeah. We did take some damage this time, but we didn't lose. We should be able to merge these fleets. Yes. Blockade this system for now. We've discovered benthic gems. The Academy will come back to. We gained population in 3 of our systems. Bouchier is almost maxed out on population, as is Niris, so we need to get some research to expand the planets that we're able to colonize. And it just so happens that we finished our technology, which opens up the opportunity to choose a new one. So, looking at this planet, we're 3 turns away from getting the desert planet colonized, which will be really good for us. Notice that now that we're not being blockaded anymore, our dust has gone up significantly. Also, we've built some cool dust buildings, so that's helping a lot, I'm sure. We need to get 4 of these down. We have 4 systems. We can do that pretty easily. 2 turns in this system. 5 turns in that system. That'll complete that quest, and that'll be good for us. Go ahead and move all of our ships this turn. And the Vega. I think we're just going to have you wait here. don't want you going through deep space when you can take a portal in just a few turns.
The families
Okay.
will do what is best for the families.
So yeah, they like our territory. They're not happy with their little pond that they're stuck in. And we kind of knew that would happen when we boxed them in. I did think that maybe with the potential for them to take my all, that they might not be as aggressive in the early game. And we are definitely still in the early game. But I think war was unavoidable. Unfortunately, we're going to have a war on two fronts. And I don't like that at all. But I don't know that there's much we can do about it. This ship has 2 probes. Let's send one this way and that way. And let's head down this lane. Okay, so wrapping up this turn, we accomplished several of our goals. We indirectly created a military through our acquisition of Andromeda. We are in position to start developing some military ships in the very near future. We're going to have to defend Andromeda and Vega from the Lumeris, and unfortunately knocking on the back door are already the Cravers, who are trying to take Werix and Gemini. They have outposts on both of these systems. We are going to try to blockade Gemini and prevent that from happening, as well as settle Bundis with the Argosy here in the next few turns. The Argosy is 1 turn away, so join us next time as we settle our 5th system, build our military, and start some warlike actions. I hope you're enjoying the series. I'm definitely going to continue it for a few more videos, and maybe to its conclusion. We'll see how it goes. But I'm having a lot of fun playing this one, and I hope you guys are enjoying watching me. If you haven't already checked out SB's channel, he's got some amazing stuff, and my good friends over at 4X Alchemist have also started making some great content on the new Vaulter DLC. So you might check out their channel as well. They have some very long but very detailed gameplay guides. Until next time, this is The Nose Plays, and have a great day.